Okay, looks like we're up and running here. Yes, we are. Okay, today I want to talk about a new little light bulb I bought. You can see I have plenty of light here. And the light is actually right here, little light. It's from a company called Flux. So for those familiar with Back to the Future series, if you remember flux capacitor, these are the people that could have created flux capacitor, but here they got the little lights going. So why is this light important? The light is important because if you need light, you buy a light bulb. And if you buy a light bulb, it just turns on, turns off. That's pretty much all you can do. But with this kind of light, you can do all kinds of additional things. You can basically think of it as an intelligent light bulb. And so the intelligence comes from its connectivity to the internet, what they call IoT, Internet of Things. This is an example of IoT. And essentially, what's happening is you're able to plug it in, turn it on, it'll come on. You don't have to do anything more than that if you don't want to. But in addition to that, what you can do is you can also use programs like IFTTT, I should say, or IFT for short. You can use programs like or devices such as Amazon's Alexa, and you can also use Google Home. And those can actually control these lights. A lot of people already know that, but for those who don't know, you can actually control this light, this particular light. That's the reason I chose it, is because you can control it from Alexa, you can control it from Google Home, and you can control it through, programmatically through this IFTTT service, and that's available by just going to www.ifttt.com, three T's. IFTTT stands for if this, then that, which is typical programming structure. But basically, what they're saying, if something happens, then I want you to do this. That's basically the idea behind it. And in this particular case, the idea was the reason I got into this was because, well, outside of the fact that it's cool, uh, the reason I got into this was because I needed to be able to have some of my restaurant clients be notified when a new order comes in. And we tried using things like uh, obviously emails would come in, they would get emails. So we tried texting, things like that. But the problem with texting is, it goes to a particular phone. Obviously, you could text it to multiple phones, but if different people work different days, it becomes awkward. I mean, it works. I mean, we've been able to make it work, but we were looking for some sort of solution to make it easy for the restaurant staff, at the same time more concrete, so the orders do not get missed because the people at the restaurant did not check to see if a new order came in. And so my solution to that problem was, why don't we try one of these smart lights? The idea was that I can control a few things, and then from my ordering end, from my software, and then using this IFT, I can actually programmatically tell it that, if a new order comes in, then what I want you to do is turn on a light with a certain color. And that way they can just have a light hanging in the restaurant, right by the cash register there. And then whenever new order will come in, the light will simply turn red or green or blue, whatever they call it, different color than normal, in other words. And then all they have to do is they can, there's an app that comes with this particular light, and I'll go into that in a minute. And they can just go ahead and um, see that, the light is, for example, red when it normally is blue or normally is white, and they simply know that they need to go ahead and open up the order and then process it. So it makes it really simple, visual. It's right there. Anybody on staff can see it. At the same time, it provides a nice illumination at the restaurant at that particular point, because you have all these different hues you can use. So that was my idea a couple of days ago, and now the idea turned into reality because it works pretty well, actually. But this is just example for what my business need. Obviously, you can use it just for recreation at home. You can use it for all kinds of different things. So let's talk about this light in a little more detail. First of all, it comes, it's a small package. You can see using the size of my hand, which isn't small, but you can see it's not that big of a light. I mean, it's a pretty small unit there. And it comes with a little instruction manual, which you don't really need that much. But the important thing about this particular light bulb, I should say, is that I wanted to make sure there's tons of them on the market. And, you know, one of the first movers in this area was Philips Hue, as they call it, lights. And those were very nice, but they also were pretty expensive. And so the reason I didn't even think about this before was because it's just too much money. I mean, to spend $50, $60 on a light bulb is just a bit much. And obviously, who wouldn't even consider spending multiple amounts of that to put some lights in a house. So that's why I knew about these lights existing, but I didn't want to spend that kind of money. Now they're a lot cheaper. I mean, the Hue came down somewhat in price, but there's a bunch of other competitors that put these lights out, and no pun intended there. And then these additional competitors that make lights, they do all kinds of things that even Hue not necessarily is able to do. And at the same time, it's much more affordable. You can get a bulb. You can't really see the bulb I have up at the top there, but there's one bulb I have that's about times and a half the size of this one, and that one actually has a built-in speaker, so you can actually play music through it. And what I'll do is, since I have it plugged in, I'll just show you a quick demo. I'm going to go into so you hook up to that particular bulb using Bluetooth. So I got my phone here, and I'm going to go ahead into Google Play Music, and I'm going to go ahead and start playing a tune. This is not coming from the phone, it's coming from the light bulb. Hopefully you can hear it well. As you can see, the sound is not exactly hi-fi, but it's totally listenable. This is just the beginning of the tune, so they made it sound like this too. Just 1 second. We're going to go ahead and stop it right there. Okay, so you can see that, obviously it's working, and you can hear it pretty well. I mean, it does a pretty nice coverage of the room. And this is just a light bulb that you can buy for about $12 right now. And it has the light component. You can change the different colors, things like that. And it has the ability, it has built-in speaker as well, which is totally usable. So that's one thing you could buy. And the reason I didn't buy that light, this is something that the restaurant already had. The reason I didn't use that was because they don't have any programmability capability to program it. In other words, they don't have any interface through either IFT or any other services. And that's the problem for me, because I needed an automated approach to be able to do this whole concept with order comes in, light comes on a certain color, and they can easily turn it off with their phone. That particular light with the speaker comes in, it's cheap. Like I said, it's about $12, $11, $12. But it comes with a little remote control, and it's got little color stickers on it, little color buttons, and that's how you change the colors on the deal. You don't actually download any apps or anything. And it doesn't have control through any other means. So you just have this little remote. You lost the remote, you have a light bulb, basically, an $11 light bulb, and there's nothing else you can do with it other than if you hook up, connect your Bluetooth device to it, you'll be able to play music through its speaker. So it definitely has that capability, but it doesn't have any other programmability or anything else. So it's useful, but you have to look at these lights to see what kind of capabilities they have, because light is a light is a light, and all of them can do all kinds of different colors and hues and all of that. So that's wonderful. But how you control it, that's what makes a difference. And that's where having a light with an app gives you a lot more control over what you can do with it. And this is the reason I recommend this one at this point, and that's the reason I bought it for my purposes, because it has control capabilities from Alexa, from Google Home, and from this IFT. So essentially, you can use it for anything. Plus, it comes with an app that you download for free, and then that app allows you. I'll turn it on in a second here, and I'll show you exactly what you can do with an app here. So what I'm going to do here is quickly change these light bulbs. Let me just let's see. Can I? Yeah, we'll just do that. I apologize. Let me just quickly do this thing live here. So I'm going to turn on the light here. I'm going to jump on the chair here and get rid of one bulb and put another bulb. You can see this working working live. If I kill myself, then you know how I died. Ouch. No, it wasn't me electrocuted, just a little static. So I'll show you the speaker light bulb in a second. You've already seen the other bulb, so let's just go ahead and put it in. And you know, it screws in using regular sockets, so there's nothing special or different about that. All right, let's turn the light back on. And it comes on super bright. And the other lights kind of outshine. You know what I'm going to do? I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of the bunch of these other lights. Just 1 second. Let's do that. So because you can't really see the one that stands out, and that it's just too bright. Let's see here. Ouch. Puppies are hot. Okay, let's let it cool down for a bit, and then we'll reconvene with that. So we'll talk for a little bit more about this. So let's talk about the app itself. You know, what we can do with the app here. So I'm going to go ahead. So like I said, the light is Flux LED light bulb. They call it Flux Wi-Fi LED, I guess. Yeah, that's what they call it. So it's just to get started, screw the Flux Wi-Fi light bulb and turn on the switch. Download the free app, connect the bulb's Wi-Fi connection, LED net on your phone. Use the app to control and personalize your lighting. Yeah, so I'm going to go into the app, share a little bit about the app while it's going down there. The app itself is, you know, standard Android app. They also have it available for iOS for those unfortunate of us who don't have the Android devices. And let's see. So when you get into the app itself, we'll just start with that. The app itself, you can see there, just get the focus in place. I don't know if I can get it sharper. I'm going to post some still shots after this hangout to show you some of the pictures from this thing. So for now, let's just go with, I'll just explain what it is. So basically you have devices. You can have, right now it shows one because I only have one bulb that I introduced into it. And then you can have all devices. You can have groups of devices. So for example, you can have, let's say you have 4 or 5 lights like this in the bedroom, and then you have a few lights in the kitchen, you have a few lights in the bathroom. So you can have these set up as different groups, so you can control these groups with one setting, essentially. So instead of going light by light by light by light, you can actually do it in one shot as a group, which is very handy and convenient. Second thing you can do, you can set up certain presets that you want to be like, you know, blue with a brightness of 40% or 60% or pink or turquoise. They have, you know, a whole gamut of colors. So you can do all these kind of different things. And you can control each light if you want, one at a time, or you can control them in groups, however you want to do it. Another setting that you have is you're able to go into the this what they call device manager, and then you're able to, you know, change its name, come up some parameters. But one thing you can do is you can also control the settings for daytime. They have night light. They have all these different settings that you can control, kind of like presets, basically. So you can have certain combinations of lights. You can easily push one button and it changes the light for that group or for that one light, however you want to do it. So, and you know, the gamut of colors is, let's see if it'll show you. It's too bright, maybe. Yeah, it doesn't want to focus. So basically, it's that white circle is not really white. It's just a whole gamut of colors. It goes from, you know, red to green to blue to yellow to pink. I mean, just the whole usual gamut of colors. Like I said, I'll post some screens at the end of this thing so you can see exactly what it looks like. And you can, like I said, one push button to have different controls. You can also have it do cross fading. You can have it do gradual fades. So the light comes on and gradually fades into a different color. You can have it set up so speed, you can control the speed from the application, how fast it will do the change of the colors. You can also set up a schedule where you want lights in certain groups or some individual lights to come on at certain times and go off at certain times. And you can have it be, going to a certain brightness. And so there's all these different settings you can essentially do to completely control your environment in terms of lighting. And that's one of the nicest things about this Flux Light is that they give you all these capabilities in the app that you can set up. But at the same time, you can do, a lot of these settings, like this programming settings, if you will, you can set up using this if thing, so it automatically does it every time. See if there's anything else here that talks about. Yeah, on the side. Okay. Okay, so hopefully it's now cooled down sufficiently where I can go ahead and screw it. And so again, with the app, you have control, easily change colors on everything, on just some things, group of things. And so it gives you ultimate flexibility in terms of controlling your lights. Okay. Let me see if I can grab this thing. Unplug some of these lights so I can show you a light show. One. Two. Let's try this one. Hopefully that'll be enough. If you get rid of these three, it should be sufficient. Carefully put these buttons here. That's another nice about this lamp, this light bulb, if you will, is that it's made of plastic mostly, so it's a little bit harder to break. Yeah, it still looks like it's pretty bright. Okay, let me unplug these things too then. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to plug this one here, so it's the closest to you. So hopefully you can see it better. Okay. All right, let's put this down. Let's try this again. Let's see. We still have one more. Okay. The light that I have right now is just, ouch, too bright. Okay. There we go. Now you can see the hue. Okay, we're good. All right, so you can see it's kind of bluish. You can see it kind of has a bluish ring to it. And so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go into color. And you can see I'm changing the color right here from my phone. So you can see it's kind of pinkish, going to go to about towards yellow, kind of purple white. I can go to make it a little bit more green right there, but you can see I'm adjusting it from the phone itself, so you can have these different things coming out. I can turn it to blue, turn it to red with certain single settings right there. Turn it to, but anyway, we'll just go with that. Go back to blue. So you can see it doesn't look as nice here as it does in the real deal. In the real deal, if you especially have a nice shade over it, it just looks tremendous. These lights look really, really nice. And so what I wanted to show you was that, one of the things that it does as part of the interface is allows you to, let me see here, allows you to what? Let's try this again. There we go. Okay. Because I had the other light hooked up using Bluetooth, that's why it prevented me from doing some of these functions. So one function they have is, for example, for microphone. So if I turn the mic on, as I speak, you can see the light is beginning to change. All I have to do is just simply talk. So you can have, and it's, changing in terms of different colors and different intensities, but it's not anything that's controlled by me, except for the fact that it just listens to the microphone and adjusts itself accordingly, as you can see that. Also, you can turn on the music feature, and if I go ahead and select the song, see, pick something that would work. Let's use the old classic. This is coming from my phone, not from the light. You get the idea. So basically, you have all these capabilities in terms of being able to do the mic, the music. You can control the light itself directly, everything using the app. So it makes it really, really simple, really easy. And then I'm not going to go through the if thing with you today and show you all the details, but just tell you that it does totally control it from IFT, and you can set it up using normal IFT. Like in my case, I had to. What I did was set it up that when a certain email label, there's a new email with a certain label that occurs, then I wanted to change the light color, and it works beautifully. It's really, really nice. And then, of course, on Alexa, you can also, tell it to hook it up. In terms of hooking it up, I'll just finish with talking a little bit about that. You set up an online account with them. They give you the URL. It's very easy to do. So the app you download and log in with your account. And then that account is basically used to have the internet connection. So you have connection locally on your Wi-Fi, but you can also have an internet connection where you can access it from anywhere. Doesn't really matter. You could be on vacation somewhere. You can say, turn on the lights using whatever interface you're using, and it'll actually turn the lights on from via the internet. You can say it if you use like Google Home. Or you can, in fact, why don't we do this for now? Okay, Google, turn the light to red.
Sure, changing the Wi-Fi bulb to red.
You see that? Okay, Google, turn the light to green.
Sure, changing the Wi-Fi bulb to green.
Okay, you see that? So it's my Google Home is in the other room there in the kitchen. But you can see that the thing works great with Google Home, and you can see how quickly it does it. And and so it makes it very, very convenient to use. And you can use it over the internet. You can use it, using all these different ways. And so it's a really, really nice way. Yesterday I had the blue light on one of our big lamps with a shade on it. And it's awesome how it looks, how it reflects off the wall and stuff. It's just a beautiful, beautiful display. You don't have to be changing colors and doing different things like that necessarily if you don't want to. But if you want, if you got a party going on, music, you click on the music feature and whatever, or mic feature, I should say, whatever music comes in, people talking, the lights change in the room. It's not a mandatory thing. It's nothing that anybody has to have, but it's a really, really nice kind of creative and appealing way to have light in a home. I mean, it's simple as that. You can also have it set up, triggered by sensors. So whenever you walk into a room, the light comes on. You walk out, the light comes off. All these things can be done with these. That's what makes IoT so useful, is that you have all this intelligence that you can add to your lighting using this variety of means. Like I said, this particular light bulb is on Amazon is about $20. So it's not too expensive. A little more expensive than the big guy. The big guy, by the way, I didn't show you that with the speaker. That's what that looks like. So you can see by the box, it's basically thicker. It's not really bigger. It's just thicker at the top there than the other light. And it's got, you can see right there, it's got that little speaker thing right on the front. And so, but that, like I said, this one is about $12, but it's dumb in terms of intelligence. You can't control it with anything other than the little remote that comes with it, and you can't do IFT with it. So it has limited capabilities, but it does have a speaker, so you can actually play music through it. But if you're using something like Alexa or you're using something like Google Home, they have speakers of their own in there, so you don't have to do anything. You can just use their own speakers. You don't need a light with a speaker when you already have your Google Home with its own speaker, right? So with that, I think we're coming to the end here. I think pretty much that's everything I wanted to say. Definitely encourage you, if you have any need where you need something to be visually communicated, this is a great way to do it. For about $20, you get that. You do a little bit of setup using their app, and also using something like Alexa or Google Home to control it if you want, or you can use the app to control it all the time. And it's a great addition, I think, for any home. And also, I think, from business purposes, in terms of notifying different people of different events, it's a nice way to visually notify somebody that something has happened or will be happening or something like that. And it's pretty quick, I mean, in terms of how it does it. Okay, Google, turn off the light.
You got it. Brightening the Wi-Fi bulb.
Okay, Google, turn off the light.
You got it. Turning the Wi-Fi bulb off.
Okay, as you can see, for whatever reason, that particular light, it doesn't actually turn it off, it just kind of goes dim. And I don't know exactly, I was going to call and find out why that is, why it doesn't turn completely off. It just kind of goes into a dim mode. Maybe there is some setting I haven't seen yet. I just got the thing yesterday. So it doesn't turn it off officially like that. But other than that, I haven't found any problems with it. The colors, everything is pretty cool. And if you have any questions about this light or how to configure it or anything, just grab me. I'll be happy to help. I messed with it a little bit. It didn't work immediately. It's not 100% intuitive and things like that. You have to follow directions and try a couple of different things until you actually see it working. Plus, a lot of it has to do with, like, on this if thing, it doesn't automatically change immediately because they're running millions of these various commands from various people, and it's all going through servers. It's understandable it takes a little time, maybe 15 seconds, 30 seconds, a minute, sometimes even a couple of minutes. It still runs relatively quickly, but not that quickly if you use that if thing. So in setting it up, it was hard to test it because you try it and you think it's gonna work, and you don't see it working. You think it's not working, but you just need to give it a little more time. But testing it with app and testing it with Alexa and Google Home, it's immediately shows immediate results. So that works pretty well. So like I said, if you have any questions, feel free. It is pretty cool stuff. I definitely recommend people getting this. And with that said, okay, Google, turn the light to red.
Sure. Changing the Wi-Fi bulb to red.
That's it. Thank you for listening, and until next time.